Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to finish up this front wall that we had gotten to this point last time. So if you could make sure you get there, and we're going to start putting it together. So we've got a 40-inch window here, that 24-inch high bathroom window here, a 40-inch window here. The front door to the house is going to be here, and we got a 48-inch window over here. Now, each one of these is going to attach with the side that does not already have a king stud to the one that's on the left when we're looking at it this way. So when you look at this, you want to orient it. So remember, we put those two together are on the far right, and we're going to start where there's a single one on the left. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and make it easy on ourselves and put the two ones that are 40 inches in at the same time. So we're going to insert, and we're going to go to our, where is the ones that we have? Parts, oh, it's an assembly. Whoops, got to click assemblies. There we go. And we're going to put in that window frame 40. Now, before you put that in, can we go back and make sure, look at your window frame 40 and make sure again, just let's double check and make sure that it is indeed 48 inches from the bottom of the header to the top of the sill, because if it's not, you're gonna have little gaps that won't be able to go away. You'll have to remove it and redo it. So I'm back to the front wall. I made sure that it was right, and I'm going to insert assemblies, the 40-inch window frame. I'm going to put two of those in there. Okay. Now, before we do anything else, I'm going to say, okay, I want to group everything that's in these together so it doesn't move independently. So we're going to click group. I'm going to choose window frame, that one. Don't choose both of them because they got to move into separate places. Good. And then we're going to group the second one. Good. All right. Now they won't have parts that move around. Now you have to identify which side of this does not have the king stud already on it, and that's what's going to go on to the left. So if it helps you to kind of flip things around, go ahead and do it. I think it will help me to kind of flip this up and then move it around so I can kind of see that it's in the same orientation. All right, now I can choose my corners. I'm going to go through this fast because we now know what we're doing with this, with the connector pieces. Right, Mr. Clatt. Good. Okay. So let's go here and down to there. Come on, show up. There we go. And we're good right there. Check. Okay, you're going to do the same thing with the other ones. Hopefully you can speed this video up because you know what you're doing and you don't need me right now. But if you got to watch, you got to watch. Don't forget, you're going to the second spot, not that first one. Okay, we're leaving this one for the bathroom. All right, cool. That looks good. And we're looking pretty good. We'll come back and put the cripples in last. All right, let's go ahead and put in the bathroom window. So we're going to insert assemblies, and we're going to do the window frame 24. Put that in there. Let's flip it up. Oops, what did I forget? Thank you. You forgot to group things, Mr. Clatt. So group everything that's on there. Good. Move it around if you want. Let me see. I was going to say I'll show you what will happen, but you'll figure that out. Don't forget if undo is your friend. All right, remember it's the side that does not already have the king stud on it. And attach. Again, I hope you've sped up the video because you know what you're doing and you don't need me right now. Good. All right. Let's do this window next, and then we'll put in the door frame. Insert. This time we're going to put in the 48-inch window because this is a wider one. Cool. What should you do? Group. I'll show you what will happen if you don't. If I click this and then try and move it, it's only going to move the one. Oh, it's moving it all. Huh. I didn't think it would hold it all together, but I guess it is. Huh. I bet it won't move it when I do that, but let's see what happens. Maybe I don't need to group it. Let's find out what happens. Let's see if the whole thing moves or if only part of it moves. Nope, the whole thing moved together. So it already comes in as a subassembly as a group. All right, so I guess we didn't need to group things, but it's always good to be safe. All right, now we're going to put in the door frame. So we're going to insert assemblies, find the 36 door frame, put it in here. Good deal. We learned that we don't need to group things. Oops, I think I did that the wrong way because there's... Oh, see, now that one, it left one of the pieces. So I did need to group it. So I need to undo until that's all back together. All right. So this time I am going to group the door frame. Good. All right. Go figure. I don't know why it didn't do it with the other one, but it does with this one. So let's see. I want to move that. Why aren't you giving me a way of rotating it around? There you go. All right. And our fasten. Again, you're paying attention to the side that does not have the king stud on it already. And cool. Look at that. That looks beautiful. That's a nice looking front wall. All right. Now, last thing to do is we're going to put cripples in. Now, I'm going to do this in kind of a cheater kind of way. So rather than put each one in and space them and all that sort of stuff, I'm going to put all of these cripples in that will be to this size. And then I'm going to just, I'm going to pattern one of them. And then I'm just going to go back and suppress the ones I don't want. I think that's faster than trying to put them all in. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to insert, find your studs. And in your studs, you should have a sill jack stud 31.5. Click. Okay, now I'm going to take this one. Now this, remember these studs, this one, and this king stud right here are all part of the 16-inch pattern. So as long as I match it with that, I'm okay. All right, so I'm going to flip this around just so I can see it a little better. Good enough. All right, now let's flip it upwards too. Sometimes it's better if you can visualize things. Now this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the midpoint of this and make it 16 inches from the midpoint of the other. So watch this one. I'm going to put my connector there in the middle of the bottom of the board. And then I'm going to go to this king stud, not the jack stud, the king stud, this one right here. And I'm going to find the middle of that one. Okay, click. Now, that board is currently inside of the other board. Okay, you can kind of see it right there. But I need to offset it along the X direction. And we're going to go 16 inches. Make sure it goes the right way. If it didn't go the right way, I'd just call it negative 16. Now, here's where the magic is going to happen. Okay, we're going to pattern this part. So we're going to come up here to linear pattern. Okay, it says what instance do I want? I'm going to click on that board right there. click on the direction I want to go. I want to go along that direction. Choose a line that's the direction I want to go. We're going to do every 16 inches. Okay. And my instance count, now it's going the wrong way, so I'm going to have to flip that. So pay attention to which way it's going. And now I'm going to watch until I get all the way to the end over here. And let's see how many I need. Let's start off with like 28 and see what happens. Remember, when you hit enter, it will preview for you. Now look, they're coming all the way over here. So it looks like I only need 25. Let's try that. 25. Good. So I need 25 of them. Now, I just think this is easier than doing it the other way. I'm going to say, okay, good. Now you can kind of see where there's some inside of others. So we're going to go to this linear pattern, and I'm just going to click on the ones, that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. We're going to do different studs in this open space. So get rid of all of these. Click, click. Now I'm going to leave the next two because those need to be there. So that one needs to stay and that one needs to stay, but this one's going to go. Scroll down a little bit. That one's going to go. That one's going to go. The next two are going to stay. Oh, no, they're not. They're in the door. I'm sorry. No, those are going to go too. That one, that one, that one, that one. Now these three will stay. Okay, and that's the last one. So I'm going to, as I've got those highlighted, I'm going to right click and say suppress. All right, cool. Now we've got our cripples. All right, we're almost done with this wall, folks. I think 2 more cripples to go for in here. Now, the reason why you have to have these is because you got to have something to nail your panels to, right? So that you can't just leave that big gap open in there. It used to be that you'd put one here on the end also, but codes have changed now to allow for more insulation because wood is not as good of an insulator as insulation. So the less wood you have and the more insulation you have, the better the house will be insulated. All right, now we're going to put in 2 more insert, and we're going to insert studs. Now this time we're going to find our sill jack stud bathroom, 55.5. Okay, we're going to put 2 of those in because it's just as easy to space them as it is to make a pattern this time. Okay, let's flip that up and flip it around a little bit so we can see a little better. Now this time we're going to do kind of the same thing we did before, 16 inches from the center of this king stud. Okay, here we go. Zoom in. Middle of the board. Find your king stud. Middle of the board. Okay, now it's inside of that. Now we have to offset it 16 inches. I bet it goes the wrong way because I think the X is pointing in the wrong direction. Let's see what happens. Yep, went the wrong way, which means I got to flip my direction. Whoops, that is not what I meant to do. That's the rotation angle. I should go negative 16. There we go. Oh, we only need 1. I thought that would be 2 needed. Oh, that makes sense. 2 times 16 is 32, and we only have a 24-inch window. So good. So good. We're done with that. We can take this guy and just say, here, you can take this extra board and delete. Where is delete? Oh, I got to get out of this. There we go. Now I should be able to delete. Delete sill jack stud. All right, we've got this wall. Quick, let's put it in so we can get a front wall. I'm excited. All right, let's insert. Let's find our assemblies. Let's put in our front wall. And click. Now, before we do anything, let's make sure we group this. All right, we don't want things moving around. Group, front wall. Done. All right, guys, one little connector should do it. So remember, this is on your left, okay? It's this one with only 1 board. It's going to go to your left when looking at the front. So, whoops, I don't want to insert. I want to connect. I'm going to fasten that guy down there on the bottom corner to. Now, make sure that you're choosing not the corner of the house, but the corner of this wall because it's going to be butted up. In there. Look at that. Looking good. All right, this is really coming together. I don't know if you're excited, but I'm excited. I think that's pretty cool. So for the back wall, I have mapped out the location on the left side. We'll be looking at the wall from the back. There is over the sink will be one of those 40-inch windows. Then there's going to be a sliding glass door that we're going to have to make a frame for. There's going to be a 48-inch window in the bedroom, and then in the shower in the bath will be another 24-inch door. So here we go. Last time we created the back wall because when we started with the front wall, we created the back and we made the pattern. Now, I messed up. I didn't realize that at the time, but remember back in the beginning of first semester, we were doing wall layouts and we talked about the difference between a butt wall and a by wall. This is a butt wall. I messed up by starting my pattern at the end, and really the end of this wall is the 3.5 inches worth of wall that's already there. So if you look at here, where my pattern should have started is here, where this edge of this wall is, not here where the edge of the wall is, because the panel needs to come out to the edge of this. So I messed up. So we're going to have to rebuild the front wall. Just kidding. I'm not going to make you redo that. We'll figure out a way to deal with it. But since we're at the beginning, we are going to fix the back wall. Now we'll be looking at it from the back. Okay, so the left is the opposite of the left of the other one. But let's fix this before we get started. So it's going to be pretty basic. What we're going to need to do is, if you'll remember, we added these two studs later. So I need to go over here to my browser to find this stud that's in from the second. If you hover over it, you can find it. And we're going to delete that one. Right click. We're going to delete it to leave the one just on the end like that. Okay. Now what we're going to have to do is we're going to go to this second one and we're going to find the fasten mate that fastened that one there. It should be, let's see if we can find it. There, it should be that second one. Yes, and we offset it by 15.25. But I messed that one up. So hover over it. It will show you kind of what was done when you hover over it. See that? So we're going to double click on that second one, and we're going to change this offset to 15.25, and then we're going to click after that and say minus 3.5, okay? Because I needed that everything to move over, and the whole pattern should move over at the same time. When I hit enter, watch the whole pattern move. Oh, it didn't like it. Okay, now red means it doesn't like something. So maybe it doesn't like that inch in there. So let's try and highlight this whole thing and just say 15.25 minus 3.5. Enter. There we go. And notice that it moved over, but it should have also moved over everything else. Let's see what happens when I hit the check mark and see if everything moves over. Boink. Good. Cool. So it moved everything over as it should have. Now, the only thing is that this is now too big of a gap. So we are going to have to add a stud into this linear pattern. So come back up to this linear pattern, double click, and instead of 30 of them, we're going to need 31. And it puts one really close to the end, and that's okay. That's okay that we have that. All right, so the left-hand side of the wall is the one with 1. The right-hand side of the wall is the one with 2. All right, now just like we did last time, we need to eliminate studs. Now I've already figured out how to do that for you, so I'm going to tell you which ones to suppress. here we go. You should have 2 studs at the end that we put in, and then we have the linear pattern. So we're going to expand that linear pattern, and the studs that I need you to click on are, I've got them written down, 5 and 6. We're going to get rid of those. Then we need 13, 14, 15, 16. 13, 14, 15, 16. There's a lot of them because we're going to put in a slider here. I may even need to do one more, but I'm not sure yet, so we'll come back to that. 22, 23, 24, where a 48-inch window is going to be, and finally 31. That's where the bathroom 24-inch window is going to be. So again, it's 13, 14, 15, 16, 22, 23, 24, 31, and then back at the beginning was 5 and 6. So as long as you have all of those highlighted, then we're going to right-click on one of them and hit suppress. And that gets us to this point right here. All right. So before we get started with this, let's go ahead and we'll put in our 3 windows, and hopefully you can remember from the last time how we did this. If you don't remember, then you can go ahead and follow along. We're going to put a 40-inch window here. Leave this for now. We'll do this next time. A 48-inch window here and the 24-inch window here. Remember that the side that does not already have a king stud is going to go up against this left king stud each time. All right, so if you can do it without me, go. If not, here we go. I'm going to put in insert an assembly, insert the 40-inch window frame, click. Just because I want to, I'm going to group that last 48-inch window frame just to make sure it stays all together. I'm going to, that's good. I'm going to flip it up, flip it around to get it so I can see it. All right, and connections. Bottom corner, 2, corner, and beautiful. All right, moving on to the 48-inch window. Insert assembly, find the window frame 48, bring it in. Let's finish. Let's group together the 48-inch frame. Cool, good, done with that. Let's flip it up, flip it around. Good. Connect. There to there. There's the 48. And finally, the 24. Insert assemblies. Find the window frame for the 24. Insert it in here. Good. Let's group together. 24-inch window frame. Done. Flip it up. Flip it around. Assemble. Find the lower corner. Find the other corner. And good. I just realized as I make this video that I don't think I ever put the cripples in. Oh yeah, I did. I put the cripple in that last window. All right. Now, same thing we did last time. Rather than trying to place every single one of them, I'm just going to make a pattern. If we were building this in real life, we would have marked off all those patterns at 16 inches on center, so we wouldn't have to think about it. I'm going to insert, go to my studs, find that 31.5-inch one, put it in here. Good. Just because I want to, I'm going to kind of make it face towards me this way and then make it flipped up that way. Just easier to see. And I am going to put that in. Now remember, it's 16 inches from the middle of this king stud to the middle of this one. middle of that to the middle of the king stud, not the jack stud. Good. And we're offsetting. Oops, it somehow didn't connect. Somehow didn't see this first one. There we go. All right. Now, that's weird that it brought that. Sometimes this will happen. It brought the first one to the second one. So I'm going to undo that. I'm just going to say no. So remember to click on the one you want to move first. Let's try that again. If it looks weird. Now I could have made it work anyway, but there we go. All right, now again, that one's inside of the other one, so I'm going to need to offset along the X direction 16 inches. Make sure it goes the right direction. Otherwise, I'd say negative 16. Good. Now we're going to make a linear pattern of this board. Click on direction to choose the direction I want to go. I want to go that way, except I want to flip it and go the other way. 16 inches. And how many do I need? Let's try 29. See if that does it. All right. Nope. Let's try. All I need to get to is over here. So let's try. I did way too many. Let's try 20. Actually, that's good. So 20 is what I need. Excellent. Good. And now we're going to suppress the ones that don't belong. So let's get rid of this linear pattern and go to, you remember you can collapse things. Go to this last linear pattern we made. And we're going to suppress that one and that one and all of these all the way, almost all of them. There we go. And leave these 3. All right. Right. Click on one of them. Suppress. Excellent. Looks good. One more to place. And then we're going to be done with this one. Let's insert in our studs a sill jack stud for the bathroom. 55.5 comes in here. And this time I'm not even gonna flip it around because I know what I need to connect. I need the middle of the bottom of the board, and I need the middle of the bottom of the king stud, not the jack stud. Now it didn't like what I did, so I'm gonna have to flip things around that way, and then I'm gonna have to flip it up. There we go. So that might happen to you too. And now I need to go in the X direction 16 inches. So I'm going to offset in the X direction. Again, your direction might be different. So you got to look at the color. 16, the right way. Good. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we will work on the slider framework next time. So can you please take a picture of your house with the front wall on and put that into the assignment, and then take a picture of your back wall that we are currently working on in this state, and take a picture of that and put that in there. All right, guys, next time we'll work on the sliding door and finish our exterior walls. See you then.